I can't do this anymore. I can't. This channel's getting deleted. I cannot do this anymore.
Are we having fun yet?
So this is Terrible Take Tuesdays, in which I take terrible takes and I tear them apart. And this has to be by far the worst take I've ever seen in my entire life. Eddie Johnson? This is coming from Eddie Johnson? He played in the NBA. He talks NBA on XM Radio. How is this even possible to make such a stupid take? I know he was out of the league at like 99, but dude, you didn't keep up from there? You're obviously keeping up now. Oh my gosh. All right, so these LeBron bootlickers, man, it's getting kind of out of line, out of hand. It's amazing how LeBron at almost 37 is still being ripped for struggling when he has an AD in his prime and not living up to expectations. Okay, first off, Anthony Davis is always injured, okay? But, you know, whatever, just not talk about that. Magic, Bird, Duncan, Hakeem, and Jordan were no longer relevant at 37. That lets you know how great LeBron James is. The irony. Because if I recall, Tim Duncan beat LeBron at 37 in the finals. Literally. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this, guys. So first and foremost, before we even talk about the playoffs, let's just talk about Tim Duncan's stats, okay? Let's just talk about his stats at 37. I won't look at 36. I won't look at 38. Let's just look at 37. He was averaging 15 points, 2 blocks, and nearly 10 rebounds. At the age of 37, he was averaging nearly a double-double. But he was so irrelevant. Not only that, if you at least recall that season and the seasons around that, surrounding around, 2014, 2013, whatever, Tim Duncan was always dominating other bigs. But you know what? Let's just keep it statistically, all right? Statistically, he was putting up numbers. He was still doing his thing. He was Tim Duncan, okay? He was amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I am going to jump to the playoffs because this is kind of a weird thing going on where people are just kind of hopping on this. Most people called it as stupid. Some people actually was like, oh man, that's kind of a good point. I don't know what's going on with people, but let's go ahead and talk about it really quick. So if we're looking here, I want to focus in on this. This is game 6 versus OKC, the 59-23 OKC Thunder with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, of course. And as we can see here, let's go ahead and look at what happened in this game 6 to close it out. This is overtime. Now keep in mind and pay attention. The score is 103-105. Spurs are down by 2. Now let's see what Tim Duncan does. He hits a free throw. Now we're down by 1. He makes a layup. Now we're up by 1. This is 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. He gets a big defensive rebound. He hits another free throw at 1:23, which tied it, 107-107. He makes another free throw, 108-107. There's 1:23 left, obviously. He gets a defensive rebound with 1:08 left. And he makes a huge shot with 19 seconds left to go ahead and seal the deal, 110-107. And Boris Diaw had a phenomenal game that game as well. Now, there is a notion, there are people out there that says that Kawhi Leonard was the leader of that team, and that's why the Spurs should praise him for giving us that 2014 title. That is not the case whatsoever. I think a lot of people are just having revisionist history. If you want even more evidence that Tim Duncan was leading this team at the age of 37, then if you can look here, this is after this game, and this is exactly what Tim Duncan said, and I'll never forget this. He said, we got 4 more to win. We'll do it this time. He guaranteed a win. There were talks on Reddit, there were talks on the internet in general where people were saying, is Tim Duncan being too cocky when he says that? A lot of people were talking about that. But no, he was just being the verbal leader that he is. This is what Tim Duncan was at the age of 37. I don't know where he's getting his information from, but dude is just literally a Google search away. And I wanted to key in on this as well. And big kudos to Jeff Garcia for this one, but he put this quote in here, and this is huge. This is what people were asking him. This is what Tim Duncan was talking about at the age of 37. Am I surprised at what I'm about to do at age 37? I'm here. Sorry, I don't. That was Alexa. Am I surprised at what I'm about to do at 37? I'm just here to play, man. I'm not worried about how old I am or whatever it may be. I'm very focused on having another opportunity to make it to the championship and try to win one. This is so even at the age of 37, people were asking him, wow, dude, you're really good at the age of 37. But you know what? Just for some fun, all right? Just for some giggles. Let's look at Eddie Johnson at the age of 37 because he might be projecting a little bit. I don't know that. Let's just check. All right, so let's see. How well did you do at the age of 37, Mr. Eddie? Let's see. This 96-97 season. Let's see. Your total average was 8 points. Whoa, that's pretty good, man. Whopping 8 points. He averaged a whopping 8 points. 8 points. 8. Blocks, you averaged none of those. Steals, 0.3. I don't know, man. I'm starting to believe that you weren't very relevant at the age of 37. But Tim Duncan, he averaged a near double-double. I don't understand where you're coming from, friend. You literally could have just looked this up. That is a awful take, my friend. And anything to praise LeBron James, and if you have to bring down anybody else in the process, I guess you have to do that. This really does this is amazing. Now, he also wanted to add something down here. He says, I agree Duncan was relevant because he wanted to backtrack, but not dominant. So I back up on that inclusion. Duly noted. Okay. You kind of didn't. You still kind of, you can say that your take, you want to go back and say, oh no, he was relevant. He just wasn't dominant. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what dominance is to you, but to me, double, nearly 15 points, or at 15 points and nearly 10 rebounds is pretty dominant. I don't know. I don't know if a player's averaging a double, I will say that they're pretty dominant or they're doing fairly well. You know what? I would actually even argue that when you do this in particular and you close out a game to get you to the finals, when you start talking your mess, and then on top of it during the season, your team, here, if I can find it, hold on. Your team went 62-20. That's pretty dominant. You're the leader of the team and they went 16-20. You're dominant. You're a dominant player. He was dominant at 37. I don't know what to tell you. You can say whatever you want. You kind of backtrack and say, oh no, well, he was relevant, but no, shut up. He was dominant. Eddie, I don't know what you're talking about. This is really sad, really poor take. Most people in the comments did have a brain, but some people, oh, sorry, I kind of went past it. But some people were like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know. You guys, let me know what you think in the comments. The disrespect that Tim Duncan gets sometimes is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'll get with you guys later, man. Until next time, I'm deleting the channel.